Hey gang, Drex here from DrexFactor.com, and today I'm going to show you some of my favorite tricks for learning polyrhythm hybrids. So it probably goes without saying that polyrhythm hybrids are among my favorite poi tricks. Whether they be in the form of antibrids or triquetra versus extension, these are a cornerstone to my personal spinning style, and I would love to show you guys how I do them. Before we dive in, I just want to give a shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Amazing Lights, Flow Toys, Spin Balls, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can visit them all on the web by following the links down in the description of this video. So for as cool as they look, polyrhythm hybrids come with a little bit of a challenge associated with learning them. Namely that everything that you've done with poi up until that point, the poi have been counted off in the same number of beats. The whole point of polyrhythm hybrids is that one poi is doing more beats than the other one. Just learning how to do this in and of itself can be something of a challenge, so let's see if we can work that problem. So go ahead and start off in a reverse butterfly like this, and what I want you to do is try and see if you can get 2 beats in with your right hand poi for every 1 beat that your left hand poi is doing. One way you can go about this is to do it only in short bursts. So say as I'm just going in straight reverse butterfly right here, I can try really quickly just doing 2 beats with my right hand, and then again, and then going back to a normal pace. After a while, this should start to feel comfortable enough that you can decrease the number of counts that you're doing in between each time you go to double time with your right hand, and eventually just keep it stable the entire way. Another way you can do this is to try and count off the poi as though they're like music. That is, instead of thinking of straight 8th notes like 1, 2, 3, 4, you think in 16th notes. That is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that way you should wind up with one poi that's traveling twice as fast as the other. Of course, it's incredibly important to be able to do this with both hands. So after you've drilled this with your dominant hand for a little while, try doing it as well with your non-dominant hand and see if you can keep up the same pace. Okay, so how do we actually apply this to a real hybrid? Well, we're going to start off with triquetra versus extension, aka the Mercedes. The first thing you're going to need to have under your belt here is to be able to do both timing and direction combinations for opposites, that is together opposites and split time opposites, because we're going to switch back and forth between the two. So we're going to start off in together opposite with our hands over to the left-hand side of our body, and we're going to pass both poi and hands up and over to the right-hand side of our body. In fact, you can go back and forth like this, just playing around with getting your hands back and forth to each side of your body. Stop over on the right-hand side of your body and let the poi in your left hand go limp. Now, pass both of your hands over to the left side of your body, keeping the right hand poi moving the entire time. So you should wind up in a position where both of the poi are moving in split opposites for a second. Get back over to the left hand side, and now you can bring your left hand poi back into together opposite. Okay, so the entire thing is we start in together opposite over to the left hand side, go over and then drag, over and then drag, over and then drag, over and then drag. Really what you're trying to do is find that together opposite feel again once you get back to the left-hand side of your body, but then just drag that left-hand poi underneath your hand as you go from right to left. You can think of that as being more of a pendulum than an extension, but as you speed it up, you're going to find that a triquetra and an extension totally emerge out of this trick. Okay, so how about now we tackle my personal favorite polyrhythm hybrid, that is static spin versus triquetra. Now, this one's going to be a little bit more challenging because the triquetra is going to have to go much faster. So we're totally going to find that many of the techniques that we use for learning the extension versus triquetra are also going to work for static spin versus triquetra. In fact, I want you to start this move off by doing a together opposite reverse butterfly with your hands 1 poise width apart. From here, you're going to let your right hand go up and over to the left-hand side of your body, and let the poi in your left hand just drop. It's really important to try and maintain that relationship between the poi head and your hand as they both go over top in this move. Okay, so now that we're over to the left-hand side of our body, as that left-hand poi is just sitting there drooping, we're going to pull it across as we let the right-hand poi go over our hand, going from left to right. So it's kind of a drag going back to our right-hand side. From here, we're going to try and get that left-hand poi to pop up and over once again, going to our left-hand side, dragging it underneath, and then popping it back over. Try and see if you can keep this continuous. Popping up, dragging under, popping up, dragging under, popping up, dragging under, popping up, dragging under. Again, once you speed this up, a really cool trick emerges. One of my favorite things about this trick is if you perform it at speed like this, no matter what type of poi you're using, persistence of vision usually kicks in and your audience can see the triquetra clear as day. Cool, so I hope this helps out some of you out there who are working with polyrhythm hybrids. We have barely scratched the surface of what can be done with these. There are plenty of opportunities for switching timing and direction combinations, as well as exotic hybrids that go all over the map. If you're interested in learning more of those polyrhythm hybrids, you should check out my Beyond the Basics course at learn.drexfactor.com. It covers all of these hybrids and includes several more, as well as tips on how to do isolations, pendulums, behind the back stuff, you name it. What polyrhythm hybrids are you struggling with? Let me know down in the comments. Did I forget your favorite? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. If you got anything out of this video, please hit that like and subscribe button and help my channel grow. Special thanks to all of my awesome supporters on Patreon. You guys are the ones that make these videos possible. If you're not a current backer but would like to sign up to support the work that I do, please go to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. Thanks again, and peace.